back from the Uber driver today. It was the highlight of my day. Look who sits down. Ryan Clark. How you doing? Yes, the Uber driver dropped me off here at Connecticut and drove away. And it was one of those like, no!
Did you dive on top of the car?
I tried. I took off my shoes. I was running through the parking lot.
I'm very proud of you, because you got to sell out for that phone.
Luckily, he went to Popeyes, checked his vehicle. I swear, this really happened. He went to Popeyes, turned around, brought the phone back. Anyway.
Question is, did you get the chicken sandwich? Because they're back this week.
I didn't ask him what he ate. But anyway, on to you and on to bigger and better things, and that is the game tonight.
Okay.
The Miami Dolphins actually looked quite good last week against the Buffalo Bills. Monday Night Football against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Do they have a chance?
They do have a chance, and you have a chance if Ryan Fitzpatrick plays the type of ball he played last week. And it's not just about the passes he throws or the plays he makes with his legs, like the late touchdown against the Buffalo Bills. It's the energy that he brings. I believe that's a large part of why Brian Flores has chosen to go with Ryan Fitzpatrick. He's a guy who brings energy. He's a guy who brings excitement. And you watch this team play with more of those things when he's the quarterback. So if Ryan Fitzpatrick has one of those nights where we start talking about Fitzmagic, then they can have an opportunity to win this game in Mason Rudolph's return for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
It is a pretty cool nickname, isn't it?
It's a gangster nickname.
So the game script I see here is Pittsburgh Steelers go up fast, hard, and a lot. And then you've got the Dolphins playing catch-up, what we like to call garbage time.
Right.
That's the script I see. What's the script you see, how this playing out tonight?
Well, if you look at the way the Pittsburgh Steelers has played at home, James Conner has been very good there. He scored early, and so I think that's what they'll try to do. They will try to establish the run, which I believe that they will. But you can't just count the Miami Dolphins out of a game like this. They've played a lot of zone defense if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers, so you think that maybe Ryan Fitzpatrick can find some of those holes with that veteran wisdom that he has. And so I believe that the Steelers go up early, but this is not a blowout. This is a game that the Steelers and Mason Rudolph are going to have to hold off until the end.
Sounds to me like somebody likes the 14 points, maybe 14 and a half with the hook.
Well, I mean, if y'all want to take it, take it. Just don't say RC sent you.
Ryan back with us a little bit later on in the show. All right, Caesars and ESPN's Football Power Index seeing things a little differently. The line at Caesars is currently 14, but FPI. Mark your calendar on November 9th. All right, so Vegas can't separate the top three teams, but our ESPN college football analyst, Mark Burzik, is here, and hopefully he can. Are you ready? Touchscreen. I always love touchscreen. It's the best.
I am. Let's see if we can beat Vegas.
All right, here we go. So we'll start with 4, and we'll work our way to 1.
All right, so this is a little bit of probably a misconception, but a lot of people want Alabama to be much higher than this, and I think that obviously they had a very good season so far. However, they're missing their quarterback. And when I'm looking at the rest of the season schedule, they still have to play LSU, and that game on November 9th, potentially without Tua Tagovailoa, could knock them back. And to me, in terms of getting to the title game, that is going to be a big obstacle. The next I have on the list is LSU, and they are undefeated. They have in my opinion, probably the best quarterback, true quarterback in college football, and in Joe Burrows. And that game, to me, if Joe Burrows can play his game without Tua Tagovailoa on Alabama's, they will get that win on November 9th. At the number 2 spot, I like Clemson. Now, Clemson hasn't had a very intriguing schedule, and when you look at the power rankings of who they've played, it's not there. However, one thing we know about Clemson is that they are going to get to the playoffs because they play nobody. They play Wofford next week, and then they have to play Georgia Tech, Wake Forest, and South Carolina, and those are all very winnable games. So when I'm betting, I want to at least have them be there.
You want somebody who's going to go to the dance.
Exactly.
And you know they're going to go to the dance.
And, you know, LSU, Alabama could knock each other off. And then the best team, to me, in the country right now is Ohio State. They do have a big game coming up against Penn State November 23rd, and that's going to be one to watch. But the way Fields is throwing the ball, the way their offense is moving it down the field, and then the defense, absolutely outstanding this past week versus Wisconsin. Chase Young had 4 sacks on his own, forced 2 fumbles. They are a locomotive train that is cruising. And to me, they're the best team in college football. They have the best chance to win the title game.
Yep. It's 275, not half bad.
Not
All right,
half
before
bad.
you go, we want to take a look at some of the updated odds for the Heisman. You talk about Joe Burrows. Now the odds on favorite at plus 120 Jalen Hurts down 150 after the Sooners lost Tua. Talked a lot about him just a second ago. Third choice at 4-1, and Justin Fields at 8-1. So last week you picked Joe. Are you still on Joe to win the Heisman, Mark?
Yeah, I'm still on Joe. He threw an interception last week, which was kind of a once in a while type thing for him. He's only had 4 this entire season, but at 30 touchdown passes, he's still completing close to 80% of his passes. To me, he is still the favorite and my favorite. But as I mentioned, Chase Young, when you look at Heisman Trophy, it's the most outstanding player in college football. I think the DN, Chase Young for Ohio State, should and could be the first true, pure defensive player to win the Heisman. He's outstanding. 4 sacks last week, 13.5 total. He could chase Terrell Suggs for that all-time sack record. We'll see.
Ooh, a former teammate of yours.
Exactly.
By the way. All right. Thank you so much, Mark. Great stuff.
Yeah, thanks.
More. Topic number 2 for you. The Saints are the betting favorite to win the NFC. So, and of course, you've got the Packers, the 49ers. Now, keep in mind the Saints, they play Atlanta twice. Really, the only 2 remaining tough teams on their schedule, the 49ers and the Colts. Do you believe in that? Do you believe the Saints should be favored, Ryan?
No, I do believe the Saints should be favored because when you watch what this team was without Drew Brees, the way that the defense, the special teams, and Sean Payton found ways to win, and now you add Drew Brees, he goes for over 300 yards in his first game back. And the San Francisco 49ers still have some tough games to play divisionally. They're also on the road to play against the New Orleans Saints in December. And so that's going to give this team some very tough games down the stretch. And when it gets into the playoffs, you're looking for which quarterback you believe in. You're going to believe in a guy like Drew Brees, that he can make the plays that are needed, over a guy like Jimmy Garoppolo. But you also can't count out the Green Bay Packers anytime Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback. So right now, it's the New Orleans Saints #1, and the 49ers and the Packers follow up very closely right below them as to who can represent the NFC in the Super Bowl.
Very interesting with the Packers. We weren't sure exactly how soon Aaron Rodgers and that new offense and new head coach would gel, but sure enough, they have. AFC South, you've been on the Texans pretty much all year.
Right.
I like the Jacksonville. I'm all Minshew magic.
Right.
Okay, but J.J. Watt injury, does it change your opinion in regards
You know what?
to the AFC South?
The J.J. Watt injury doesn't change my opinion because it wasn't based on defense. I think J.J. Watt isn't what he used to be, but he's still a very good player. Now you have to add Cunningham to the rush, guys like Merciless to the rush, and also protect that back end, which is injured. But that's about Deshaun Watson. When Deshaun Watson is close in the fourth quarter, you see some of that Dabo Swinney, Michael Jordan-esque stuff that he was talking about when it comes to him. Yesterday, he throws a touchdown with one eye open. And so when you can do some of those things, you believe in them. But the Indianapolis Colts are changing my opinion a little bit. Not so much the Texans. When you watch this team play, they're a little up and down because they're young. But coming into the season, I said the 2 teams that had the quarterback play to beat the Patriots were Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs, Deshaun Watson and the Houston Texans. And there's been one team that's beat both of them, and that's the Indianapolis Colts.
Least penalized team in the league, by the way.
Good coaching.
Brian, you rock.